Hello guys, I've never made a video like this before, but this is going to be very raw, very vulnerable, very truthful, the behind the scenes of building my business to 100k a month, building myself, personal things I've overcame this year so far, how I've dealt with challenges, what I've learned from those challenges. We're going to be getting into so much stuff I've never shared with even some of my friends. We're going to be getting into this video because I think it's so important to be transparent and to show people that business is not all sunshine and rainbows, and you do have to overcome challenges. And it's just as much about building yourself as it is about building the business. Entrepreneurship is self-development on crack. People say that over and over again, but oh my God, have I really integrated those lessons and that understanding on such a deeper level this year. But we're going to dive into it. We're currently in my apartment in Dubai, in my dream apartment. Like, I'm so grateful for it, and I still can't believe that this is my life, that I took a year lease out on this apartment. I was able to pay for it up front. Like, I'm literally living my goals and dreams right now, and I feel that so deeply. I feel such an insane amount of gratitude waking up every single morning, getting to work with my dream clients, getting to work my dream job, and for the younger version of myself who made this happen for me and just pushed through to be here. But yeah, obviously, let's go back to January 2026. So I moved from Bali to Dubai in January 2026. I'm just going to go through all my lessons and learnings from this year. In Bali, I lived there for 2 years, and Bali gave me so much. It gave me a place that I could go to when I wasn't making that much money originally 2.5 years ago when I started my business. It gave me a network, friends, community, so much. But I feel in December, I was just getting a bit complacent. I was earning really good money. I'd made 30k months. I just felt very complacent. I could get everything I want. I could buy everything I want. And there was just no real drive or ambition left in me to like get to the next level. So I needed to put myself in a different environment and also set up my business. So that's the reason why I moved to Dubai. Moved in January. And again, I just felt so aligned once I made that move. I found this apartment, which is amazing. Again, it's full of entrepreneurs, loads of people also working for themselves here, people making literally millions, which is just so good to be around that energy as well. So felt very aligned with that straight away. And business had a huge month in February, was hiring a team, like everything was going so smooth. I was scaling so nicely. Then obviously the war started in March and we had to leave for a bit. And we went back. It was just a different season of business. March was all about recalibration, learning lessons. Also, we did a lot of masterminds. We did a lot of in-person stuff, which was a huge goal of mine this year too. So a lot of my clients flew out to me in Marbella, and we hosted a mastermind there, which was amazing. Got to go back to my hometown, well, Dublin, which is kind of my hometown in Ireland as well. And we hosted a mastermind there, which was amazing. But when we got to Marbella in March, so many things started coming up for me. And this is where it comes into like, it's just as much about building you as it is about building your business. And only in hindsight, I can really see those lessons, but I have a good mindset naturally. So I'll always go to like, what is this teaching me? What is this teaching me? But the first thing that happened in Marbella is one of my close friends, she started questioning my integrity, my intentions, like all this stuff in a message. And genuinely, it shook me so much. This friend I actually had on such a pedestal. I looked up to her so much for so many different reasons, and she helped me so much in my life, and she gave me so much within my personal growth, like lessons. She taught me so much, and she was just someone I really look up to. So when she questioned my integrity and my intentions, it literally, oh my God, affected me so much emotionally. But the lesson I learned is, because I had her on such a pedestal, she was able to affect me to such a huge emotional degree. And I was outsourcing a lot of my trust to this person. I would almost value her opinion over my own opinion. And on certain matters, I'd ask her opinion and she would be like God in my eyes. Like that was it. Once she said her answer was like the right answer always. So it really helps me build such a strong relationship with myself and start trusting myself a lot more, because every time you outsource your power to someone else and you give someone else power over making you feel a certain way, maybe making you feel really good about yourself or making you feel bad about yourself, then they're in control of your life because they control your emotional state, and your emotional state creates your reality. And I was very upset about it for 2 weeks, but then I started journaling so much and just like integrating, what can I take from this? What lesson am I learning here? What lesson have I been taught here? And it was all around self-trust. It was like, Emma, you don't need to put people on a pedestal anymore. You need to back yourself. You need to trust yourself. And you need to know who you are, because when you know who you are very deeply, other people's opinions can't affect you. So obviously when this person that I valued so much questioned my intentions and my integrity, it made me start to question myself, because I hadn't fully built that relationship with myself to know who I am. So I was able to reflect on that a lot and really ask myself, Emma, like, were your intentions a little bit misaligned here. And let's look at our integrity. Like, do you feel like you're acting in integrity in your business, in your life? And I was able to write out all the ways that I was doing that, and also all the ways that there might have been a little marginal rooms for improvement as well. And once I was able to write that down, I was able to be like, okay, I know myself, like I know my own intentions, I know my own values, and I'm acting in accordance with that. And now if that ever comes up again, it will never shake me because I've built a stronger relationship with myself. So when it comes to hate online, when it comes to other people's opinions, friends' opinions, outsourcing advice, the biggest lesson and takeaway from that is do not put anyone else on a pedestal. You know yourself best, and you know what you want for your life as well. Even people who are further ahead of you, mentors, celebrities, yes, you can take their advice, but when you start pedestaling people, it becomes very, very dangerous because they're literally in control completely of your emotional state when they're on a pedestal. Because if they're offering you compliments, it's going to make you feel really good about yourself. But then if they're criticizing you in any way, shape, or form, it is going to melt you to the floor. So outsource all of your power from within. You hold inside you all the power to make you feel any way you want to feel. And when you realize that fully and you stop outsourcing your power to other people, you become so powerful, so powerful. And even in small ways, I see people do this so much. They're constantly asking people's opinions on, oh, should I post this piece of content or this piece of content, or what should I wear out tonight? Like, ask yourself, what do I want to wear out tonight? What do I feel like posting today? And that is, again, that is when you become so powerful. The second lesson I learned in Marbella is that neutrality is the highest vibrational state. So within business, we're always having good things happen and bad things happen, and good things happen and bad things happen. It's constantly swinging like a pendulum. So if we're letting our emotions go really high when things are going well, and we're letting our emotions go really low when things are going badly, you're just swinging in the wind like a feather. The best business owners have the ability to stay neutral whether things are going really well or whether things are going really bad. And that way you're able to make a lot more logical decisions, and you're actually able to affect what's happening rather than just swinging in the wind. In life, you're going to have seasons for rest and recalibration, and you're going to have seasons for huge momentum and growth. That's one of the laws of the Kabbalion, one of the 7 laws of the Kabbalion. It's called rhythm. Every time you're able to stay neutral when things are going really well or really badly, you're increasing your capacity to actually hold more money, more clients, more business success. So every time something goes wrong and you stay neutral and you don't react, you respond, you're actually showing the universe or whatever you believe in that, yes, I am capable of holding more, I'm ready to hold more, and it's actually going to give you more to hold. So a lot of the time, your ability to stay neutral will be actually what defines how successful you can be within business as well. And it's something you program your mind to actually naturally start to do. Again, coming back to my original point, you hold all the power within. What is in your life right now, whether it's the sum of money you're making, how your business is doing, how many clients you have, where you live, that is the effect. That is the effect. What is the cause? The cause is our thoughts, because our thoughts lead to our actions. Example of this is when you're hungry, you go to the kitchen and get food. But why do you go to the kitchen and get food? Because you think you're hungry, you feel hungry, and then you go get food. So our thoughts are the cause, and then what happens in reality is the effect. So does it make any sense to change an effect with an effect? No, absolutely not. You change an effect with a cause. But every time you're trying to work more or work harder or do more on the physical plane, which is our reality, that's trying to change an effect with an effect. Whereas it makes so much more sense to change the cause, which will naturally change the effect. So when we can change how we feel on a day-to-day basis, that is the cause, because how we feel dictates what we think, and what we think dictates what action we take. So identity is crucial here. People set goals backwards. They set goals by setting goals, instead of setting goals by setting the identity of the person who will actually naturally achieve the goal. So let's say your goal is to hit 30K a month. You really want to hit 30K a month in your business. Scrap the goal of hitting 30K a month. Ask yourself, who is the identity of the person who hits 30K a month in their coaching business or in their business? What qualities do they have? What traits do they have? What do they not do? What habits do they have? What standards do they have for themselves? When you can get so clear on that, your only goal then is to act in alignment with that person. Because when you do this for long enough, the 30K a month will be a byproduct of you embodying the identity of the person who already hits that. And a lot of the time, people get it wrong. They think they have to do more. They think they have to do more work, more action, more inputs in order to hit the goals. But that's not what it is. Like, most of the time, I meet founders who are making millions who work less than people who make 5K a month, because they work smarter. It's all about intentionality and working smart when you're scaling and when you're trying to build success. Let's say 3 people are digging sand. One person's digging sand with their hands. They're going to be doing the most amount of work but digging the least amount of sand. Second person's digging sand with a shovel. They're going to be doing the second most amount of work but also not digging a huge sum of sand. And third person is digging sand on a bulldozer, on a digger. They're doing the least amount of work but they're digging the most amount of sand. And that's how you scale a business. You want to be the person in the bulldozer, digging huge amounts of sand while not overworking yourself and not burning yourself out. That is the goal. So I suppose that's my third lesson integrate there. It's stop setting goals as goals and start setting identity goals, because the goals that you want will be a natural byproduct of embodying the identity of the person who already achieved the goal. And my fourth lesson is success comes at a cost. And some people subconsciously fear success because they don't want to lose their friends. They don't want to not be able to relate to anybody. But that's holding you back so much. And the truth of the matter is, you're living an inauthentic life. If you have to play small in order to keep people that are currently in your life, they're not true friends and they're not true connections, because real friends and people who really truly love you will want to see you succeed and will want to see you go all the way up. And it was kind of a sad lesson, but you really don't have very many friends. And I know your mom my mom always told me this growing up. She's like, you can count the number of real friends you have on one hand. But it's actually so true. I've had people I thought would be in my life forever surprise me so much. Not in a good way. The more you grow and the more you expand, unfortunately, the more people are going to try to bring you back down. You need to always ask yourself, what's the consciousness of the person whose opinion or judgment I'm taking right now? Because everyone is living in their own worlds and their own bubbles, based on their trauma, based on their limiting beliefs, based on their past experiences in life. Two people can experience the exact same event completely differently based on their minds. And this is huge. The only truths in life is what our subconscious mind believes to be true. And anyone that you're keeping in your life just to people please or for the sake of it, they're draining your energy and they're taking your capacity to actually grow and reach your full potential and do what you want to do. So do a friend audit. Like, audit all your friends right now and really ask yourself, if push came to shove, would they be there for me? If I really needed this person, would they support me? If something good happens, am I scared to tell this person? Because if you have someone in your life right now that you're scared to tell good news to, I hate to break it to you, but they are not your friend. Put them in the bin because they're holding you back. And even back to the first lesson with this person that I had on the pedestal, there was so many signs throughout our 1.5 years of friendship that she wasn't truly my friend that I just ignored because I value connection so deeply. But I obviously didn't value myself more than the connection. True friendship isn't transactional. Just to give an example, this person charged me for staying in her apartment for 1 week. Any of my friends that would want to stay in my apartment, I would let come for free at any given point in time. But there was so many telltale signs that obviously I just hadn't built a strong enough relationship with myself to really cop those red flags early on. And a quote I love is, the universe will whisper until it screams. And I got screamed at in Marbella to be like, this person is not someone that you want to continue on your life journey with you. But yeah, you truly will only ever have 1, 2, 3 maximum close friends in your life that will really have your back when push comes to shove. So do a friend audit and recognize that anyone who's not adding to your life is taking your energy and they're holding you back from getting you to where you want to go. I feel like all those lessons really allowed me to step into this next level of myself though. Since I came back to Dubai, I literally feel like a completely new human. The relationship I have with myself is 10x than what it was before. And I feel like the ability I have to withstand anything else happening in my life now has actually just gone through the roof because I reacted there in that situation. I didn't respond. But now with all that I've learned, in any way, shape or form, if a situation similar was to repeat itself, I have all the tools and ability to respond and not react. And I needed those lessons to fully embody the 100k version of myself because I feel that more than ever now. And I know by the end of 2026, I will have hit 100k a month. Like, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind. But perspective on the things that are happening to you is so important because everything's happening for you, not to you. I could have easily went into victim mode and been like, oh, why is this happening to me? But I took and extracted every seed of lessons that was in those experiences that happened. And because I did that, I'm going to be able to quantum leap so fast. Even since I came back to Dubai, I've made 17k in the last 16 days. My capacity to hold what I'm building is literally through the roof. I am ready for it to all come and it is coming. So yeah, this is definitely a bit more of a raw video than usual, but I hope everyone got some value and learned lessons from my lessons. And I'm going to be doing a couple more of these and we might do these monthly, we'll see. Especially if you guys enjoyed them. So if you did enjoy them, please comment or send me a message if you got some value from it as well. And I think I'll do some more of them too. So hope everyone has an amazing week.